Welcome to the Renaissance Denver downtown at the Colorado National Bank, a new downtown Denver landmark and a proud member of the Stonebridge Company's family. Modern in so many ways, the Colorado National Bank shares a history dating back to 1914, the same year World War I began. That's when Colorado National Bank started construction on its new home at 17th and Champa. Designed by Fisher & Fisher Architects, a partnership of brothers William Ellsworth and Arthur Addison Fisher, the iconic bank was born from 44 pages of intricate architectural drawings. When Colorado National Bank opened in 1915, more than 6,000 people poured through the doors to admire the main lobby. Wowed by the massive bronze doors, intricate glass skylight, vaults weighing more than 60,000 pounds, and beautiful white marble used throughout the building, quarried from the Colorado Ewell Marble Company. Around the same time, the same marble was used to construct the Lincoln Monument and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Washington, D.C. Prior to beginning construction to restore the property into a hotel, Stonebridge companies enlisted input and advice from local community members who all had a connection to the Colorado National Bank. Many had worked at the property in the years past, while others were the close relation of past employees. Through these individuals' collective input, the Renaissance Denver Downtown City Center Hotel was built, ensuring the iconic building's legacy will continue for many generations to come.
You can't help but be in awe of the spirit of the West and what Allen Drew was trying to bring forward, particularly if you come in the front door. You don't get quite the same reach in any, you've got to really step into the lobby and then turn around, because the big mural was, remember, you had the May Company at the other end, and that exit did not exist. That was the savings department. People came in off Champa Street or in what I call the tube.
I think of the columns, I think of the gold doors, I think of the size of the lobby and the ceiling of the lobby, and I think of the murals. Those are really the things that I remember the most. But in particular, there aren't very many buildings in Denver where you go in and just go, wow, this is an incredible lobby.
When the Colorado National Bank opened, banking was much different than it is now.
These vaults are roundly 3 feet thick, and things are just not made that way. Because back when this bank was operating, in the early days there was actually money, so to speak, and today it's a lot of it. It's it's not currency per se, where we need to keep the use of that anymore.
At times, millions of dollars in gold was held at the bank, until 1934, when the Federal Reserve enacted the Gold Reserve Act and ordered all gold to be turned over to the Federal Reserve Bank. Even though gold wasn't held at the bank after 1934, it remained not only a bank and institution founded on family values, but a gathering point for the community.
One of my most outstanding memories was that I'd go and sit down in that little lunchroom. It was very small. Only had a few tables, but you'd sit down with Harold Kuntz, who was Harry's father and was president of the bank. He was on the Federal Reserve Board, and you'd be sitting there, chatting with him. And that's the kind of organization it was. There was that kind of personal touch, and it really followed through, I think, over the years.
Christmas was a big occasion at the Colorado National Bank. And now, in its most recent transformation into a hotel, the holidays continue to be a big celebration at this beloved Denver landmark.
There are certainly stories that are true of the Christmas tree at Christmas, and the local schools, the kids would come in and sing Christmas carols, and people would come in oftentimes just to look at the tree, and the tree was some 3 stories tall, and absolutely was the tree in Denver, and our vision is to bring that back, bring that tradition back. Every Christmas we would have this tree. I suspect it'll be a tree that'll be of massive proportions, similar to what was here during the days when the bank operated.
Painted in the 1920s by Western muralist Alan Tupper True, the beautifully preserved murals in the lobby, which he called Indian Memories, depict the lives of Native Americans on the plains before settlers arrived.
My grandfather really respected the Native American thought and philosophy, and especially I think today, as I do, we should value their idea that we are part of nature, that we need to take care of the earth. And I think these murals really tell the story from youth on to actual death of not every tribe, but it's kind of a general idea of the various tribes in America.
Known for his murals that were painted in state buildings throughout Colorado, Wyoming, and Missouri, True is perhaps most famous for creating the bucking bronco symbol found on the Wyoming license plate. Much time and care was taken to preserve the murals that comprise Indian Memories as the Colorado National Bank was transformed into a hotel.
So our plan is to keep the murals here, keep the art here, and make it part of the space, make it part of the lobby where visitors will come and visit, not necessarily as an art gallery per se, but it's in some similar context that they're staying at a hotel or just visiting the hotel, come have a cup of coffee and experience the space. But the idea is certainly to keep the sense of the space that was created when it was a bank lobby, if you will.
In order to transform the former bank building into a beautiful hotel, construction and restoration teams worked on the project for 5 years, ensuring historic details remained in order to incorporate those unique features into a one-of-a-kind hotel. When the property was purchased, Stonebridge Companies took care to ensure that it would forever be preserved by placing on the National Register of Historic Places. As such, Stonebridge worked closely with the National Register when designing the additional 2 floors that were added to the building. The result showcases the distinct architectural evolution of the building, with the most recent 2-floor addition standing apart from the original construction in 1915 and the subsequent additions made in the 1920s and 1960s. Naturally, through repurposing the bank into a hotel, the experience a guest has at the Renaissance Denver downtown is unique from any other. From repurposing bank vaults into private meeting and dining space, to reusing beautiful brass railing and doors from the former chairman of the bank's office and mounting them on the hotel's walls as art, touches from the property's storied past can be found throughout the building.
I don't need to tell anybody that's ever been in that building, it's one of a kind. And with the right kind of foresight and thought, I personally think that that property could be the keystone of the Stonebridge Companies. I think it's a home run, as I say. And I can hardly wait for the day when it's completed and I can take my wife and my children and my grandchildren, because so much of my life was oriented towards that part of my career, and take them down into that building and let them see just exactly what their dad and their grandfather enjoyed for so many years.
Erected as a 4-story building in 1915 on the corner of 17th and Champa Streets in downtown Denver, the bank was coined the bank that looks like a bank, in an area deemed the Wall Street of the Rockies. To accommodate the increasing amount of business the bank was receiving within the first 10 years of opening, the bank bought the adjacent lot and doubled the property in size horizontally in 1926. Guests can view the different foundations of each building in the hotel today. In the 1960s, 2 additional stories were added on top of the building, capping it out at 6 stories. Now 8 stories tall, the Renaissance Denver downtown boasts 230 guest rooms, 9 of which are suites. Nearly 6,000 square feet of meeting space, some of which is located within the property's original vaults. The original concept, chef-driven restaurant, range, featuring new American West cuisine, prepared using techniques inherent to the Rocky Mountain West, such as smoking, wood oven roasting, cast iron sauteing, pickling, and preserving. And the Teller Bar, located in the lobby and aptly named for the bank tellers who once stood where the bar now stands.
My first visit to the building, walked in, and I was in sort of complete awe of the space, the size, the art, the history of the building. And the initial concept was, oh, we've got to make this thing a hotel. Except then we looked at the building and said, boy, what do I do with this big lobby? And really the answer is it's a lobby of a hotel. It's not a building that I think one would build today in terms of the efficiency factors. It's a very inefficient building, if you will, but it's that inefficiency and the grandness of the building that we have to turn around and make it into a very special hotel.
We are proud of the collective efforts that went into transforming this historic Denver property and welcome you to live life to discover at the Renaissance Denver Downtown City Center Hotel.